goes 24/7 as importers can now clear goods even at 2 a.m. Tema Port goes 247 as importers can now clear goods even at 2 a.m. GRA Commissioner General Mami Penny Dimam Mr. Anthony Kwesi Kwating where the name Kwesi Mr. Anthony Kwesi Kwating ono ye Ghana Revenue Authority boss no Nenei wakachirem set Tema Port would the near my banner say ahemache no mienu ena pese ukoyu near ma and they kwanda ho and they kwanda ho. This government 24-hour economy and also running no or see institutions or one day or so it was a Tema Port no yes aban or one day meboa eti or 2 minutes so so it a nay GR boss or bojuma papa no mohuni sano or yejuma sono pa eti ora Anthony Kwesi Sapon and wakachim sa even anaju da suomu no mienu na oniema o Tema Port na pese ene yukoko yia 24-hour economy no jare so oko Tema Port almost start to de enti Tema Port goes 247 as importers can now clear goods even at 2 a.m. GRA Commissioner General Anthony Kwesi Kwating Ura or so dia or the Abba and no. Amaliba more chile be your crumo.
You see, go to the tickets here area, you have before your name, right? Now, Yura Kwesi Sapon is one of the efficient Jerry boss here or Kruma. Okay. You see, a very uncommon say a byway about Nakunyoso. And indeed, we share from the history of Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah did a lot for this country, and it's very obvious. Say a name of Kwame Nkrumah, and he relied on loans, sometimes grant, to do a Nyoma or Yema or Maino. 60, almost 70 years later, we still count on those things as vital national asset. Kosomo Dam, Tema Port previously, and others are classical example. From that period all the way to this point, I buy beer between so either so bebo will say one man on it. I say sometimes a young man so scared the bema grant and lots of things on that. I buy and rely on. But the current regime had departed completely from what we think to be the norm. Okay. For the last almost 2 years into President Mahama government, Ransford, and in the midst of a new ma don't forget, Tamo Yababa Bam, Nakufodo Aban Aye, domestic debt exchange program. What it means is that a man for Sika not at that bank or in fact, even people's money on their bank account, government touched it. And that was what we call a haircut. A bino a postponing a car or they say the loans are due, I can't pay them. In the language of Honorable as a Kadongo, borrow recklessly, spend anyhow, declare bankrupt, write or how do you call it, issue whom it may concern and default, or default, issue to whom it may concern and declare bankrupt. So Ghana was declared a bankrupt nation. Junk. Your economy was baller. And on the IMF, they did one of the most cruel IMF conditionalities ever prescribed for any struggling economy since the beginning of IMF, far back in the early 1940s or latter part of 1940s. You understand? So it tells you the level of I listened to people like Mr. Kwame Pienim, a stalwart of the NPP and a renowned economist. Or any Joe Jackson Moore and others predicted say it would take not less than 20 years for Ghana to get out of the doldrums. So henceforth, see a economic miracle. Yeah, or might be a perform within an unexpected stipulated time period. No one turning a number around that. It should be the NDC government led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And in every step of the way, the behavior of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as president, the attitude of his appointees, continuously convinces Ghanaians and vindicates why they voted for him. Whilst on the other side of the table, the behavior of the NPP and their recklessness also convinces Ghanaians and vindicate them why they vote them out. Have you seen the two sides of the coin? And then, Ghana, look at the project at Ecoso, baby. Acquire. All over the place. Schools infrastructure, medical infrastructure, and the classical infrastructure we are doing at the moment, no attention to the roads, but any road in Nkwa. There are others which will follow. Honorable Dr. Kingsley Force and say the conviction of this government is anchored on the Chinese philosophy. Say, if you want to get rich, build road, because road will make you richer. On Sanamuka Kumase Accra Road, not even the espresso. I mean the current one. I agree. For 4 years, I 2007, 2006, thereabout. If you that 4 years, I saw quite a service in there. And look at Kaswa, Quino so Bujum Kaswa Wager, Quino. From the one of 4 year Quino, you saw quite a service in there. These are major problems we have on our neck. But government is able to manage the resources that you will fear. We'll be able to get ourselves out of the IMF program within a space of less than 2 years. We are out of the program. My IMF 4, I am convinced that is why they, after doing the assessment of the Ghanaian economic recovery, unprecedented recovery, almost sent a report to their board of directors. On the basis of that, they were convinced that Ghana are meeting all the targets, even beyond our own imagination and understanding. And therefore, Ghana exited the IMF condition, the IMF program, with glory. And now, here we are. So, the issues around the turnaround of Omanisi Kaseminano, the performance of people like the GRA boss. Look, baby, I see you pa at my port. Prof. Mills, Sabe, Radifa Omampini that crazy. A continue issue airport for a whole president to shed tears. And I dare say that President Mills have never gotten angry in his life, in entire life. But the way he emotionally spoke at that time tells you the wrath and the frustrations he had. And don't forget, he himself was an Internal Revenue Commissioner before he ascended to become the president. So he knew, and two tenants on Okaya was the one who has confirmed the suspicion he have had all these years as an Internal Revenue Commissioner himself. Oh, so Betty-Mess is had your man. You see, in the criminal enterprise, the perpetrators are always smarter. They are always smart. It is up to the actors within to be a little step or one step ahead of them. Publican AI, you saw the uproar that greeted the implementation of that program. Say, or you'll be a quiet timid and a coward. I dare say that the threat from the business community alone was enough for him to have recoiled. And you see, when you have a boss which encourages you when you are doing the right thing, but is quick to call you to order, like John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency the President, everybody will perform. The president eyes is everywhere. Look, me dem penifo bi ko institution bi. Na no mu din komo. We was talk about Amaliba. Baby, I'm can your partner, but it doesn't fall within our domain. So man penny anywhere. And we can't do something extra.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Good. So you are dealing with the president whose eyes are everywhere, whose ears are everywhere. So you cannot do as you please. Into all the appointees are alert. And those appointees around the president also share with the vision, the ideas, and the philosophy of the president. And they are ready to go the extra mile to help him succeed. Why? Because the return to the presidency and the margin of vote Ghana for the man, no, everybody around him understand the immense responsibility placed on the shoulders of the government and the president. So they're doing their part. He said, "Nah, Tema Port, Ako 24/7. In fact, I think they have done it. I think that they are now on the full peak of the implementation. And they have now rolled the program out. Yeah, and now from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., from 6 p.m. to the following day 6 a.m., you can clear your goods at any time. And you can make payment.
Yeah. The banks now want to be.
Of course.
You bet you
a
deposit.
Look, NPP for nam after your marking, that discredited guy, backing all over the place. Like an unchained mad dog. I don't respect this guy. I lost respect for him. When he slapped a police officer in uniform, and beyond that, insulted the judges and attacked the judiciary. As a senior member of the bar, a whole no lose me respect. And I will never respect this charlatan who is backing all over the place. Or to toe the tentacles, losing everywhere. So, I want to encourage the NPP. The NDC manifesto in 2024, 2020 and 2024, Sabi, a secret document, a public document.
That's true.
If you don't have a copy, they should come to the party headquarters. National General Secretary Fifi Fiavi Kweti. He is available always in the office. Or be printed copies they should go and read and learn the wisdom and the rationale behind what we promise. Say there are measures we will have to put in place from the state institutions controlled by government and the private sector, where we give them incentives and roll them to expand the scope of operations and engage additional hands, leading to the creation of 24-hour economy, whereby we can divide 24 hours into 3 sessions. Yeah, every session of 8 hours will be led by a particular team of workers on Juma. See, I think that one of the daring policies President Mahama gave before the elections. And I am convinced that when the president and the team of the NDC leaders that sat down on the table to propose that policy, they understood the ramifications behind the implementation of that policy and the enormous work that must come with the implementation. Because to promise 24-hour economy, and Dr. Guzitano have been on the center of this work. Somewhere last week, Committee Chief of Staff and the team of entrepreneurs and investors, and they were looking at how they will unleash and open the economic potential of the Eastern-Western Water Corridor, maximizing the Akosombo Dam, and meeting the purpose for which Kwame Nkrumah created the biggest man-made lake in the world and gave it to us in Ghana. At the beginning of it. Now, look at the Tema Railway line now. You could see Akosombo Dam. No, that is going to move cargo to the Akosombo Dam. And from the Akosombo Dam, ferry number carries Sanyomano all the way to the Buipo Inland Port. And from there, it will serve the Northern Belt. All these things are integrated program of 24-hour economy. And the Women Development Bank, and Mamokra, it's a different leg altogether. Do you get that? So, institutions the government will control us. No, Honorable Samuel Okudje to a black choir in the foreign ministry. One more year buy happen on Moshasi and internet a month for say. In fact, it's evident to the public who apply for via passport within 3 days. Wait my passport right away. And a passport, yes sir. I dare want me add some fingerprint and an intimate taking of few money ye. Can you say the studio ha? With much of BBI the amount or more passport office or tell no passport bro. They've been sending the passport to people at their doorsteps. Before those things were not done. And the NPP time for apply for passport, it takes them months before they can get it back. But then you do it, maximum 72 hours, you have your passport back. So these are the changes we promise, and these are the innovations. And we are not misleading the public in any way. In fact, the NDC government is committed in delivering whatever we said in our manifesto, and gradually we are going every step of the way, and we are carrying the public along. I am very mindful, like I keep saying, Ransford, kakra die, but the day nim and also. Because the public still expect more. And with the leadership we have, I think that we will meet the target as the nation expect of us. And indeed, we will not disappoint in that regard.
All right. Yanko enim, Go Super XP product in the account for the amount. Sir Oshenkani die, Ope Fango Papa, Ebema Unjino.